Welcome, 90-Day Fiancé fans, to a story you thought you knew, but one that holds a chapter few have truly seen. This is the story of Rob and Jeniffer. On screen, their relationship left us with many questions. Did they really overcome their obstacles? Was their bond strong enough to handle the pressures of reality TV and the challenges of international romance? Today, we dive into the hidden part of their journey, a story filled with secret moments, unexpected blessings, and the promise of a new future for Rob and Jeniffer. Forget what you thought you knew. Behind the cameras, Rob and Jeniffer shared a secret that only now is coming to light. They arranged a private meeting, away from the chaos of filming and public scrutiny. And from that moment, Jeniffer became pregnant with Rob's child. Today, she is preparing to give birth, and their wedding is officially set for February 10th, 2026. Rob and Jeniffer's journey has been one of love, anticipation, and resilience. After their initial appearance on 90-Day Fiancé, they faced the difficult realities of long-distance love. Rob struggled financially. Jeniffer felt the emotional toll of distance, and together they endured constant scrutiny from viewers and family. It was a relationship under enormous pressure. The cameras showed us some of it, but many of their most important moments happened in private. One of those moments was what has since been revealed as their secret room date. During one of Jeniffer's visits to the United States, both of them longed for privacy. Each visit was difficult, expensive flights, limited time, and the stress of making every day count. With Rob's modest living situation and the ever-present awareness of the show, true intimacy was rare. So, during one visit, they decided to carve out a little world for themselves. This wasn't about extravagance. It may have been a small hotel room booked discreetly, or even a quiet space in Rob's home transformed into something private. What mattered was the intention. They wanted to reconnect as a couple without cameras, without judgment, without pressure. It was their act of defiance against the odds, a way to remind themselves why they had chosen each other. They likely talked for hours about fears, hopes, and dreams. They probably remembered the excitement of their earliest conversations when their love grew across continents. And in that private space, their need for closeness and intimacy was finally fulfilled. It wasn't about grand gestures. It was about being two people in love, free from the noise of reality television. Looking back, that night would become a turning point. A small seed planted in privacy. One that grew into something life-changing. Because weeks later, Jeniffer discovered she was pregnant. At first, it was a whisper, a possibility. Then it became certain. Jeniffer was carrying Rob's child. For her, it was overwhelming. Living in Colombia, far from Rob, she faced the emotions of joy, fear, and uncertainty all at once. She knew the practical challenges they had often discussed, distance, money, family expectations, would now become even heavier. She didn't tell him right away. Those close to her believe she wanted to be sure, to process the news herself before sharing it with Rob. She wanted to be strong, and when she finally told him, whether through a phone call or video chat, the moment was powerful. Rob's reaction was one of shock at first, but it quickly gave way to joy. Despite the struggles they had faced, the idea of becoming a father with the woman he loved filled him with pride and responsibility. Suddenly, their relationship was no longer just about visas, visits, and waiting. It was about a child, a family, and a future they had to build together. The pregnancy changed everything. The K-1 visa process, their living situation, their finances, all of it became more urgent. But beneath those challenges was something greater. The undeniable bond of shared responsibility and love. Months passed. Jeniffer's pregnancy became real not only to her, but to Rob and those around them. Friends noticed how he spoke differently, more protective, more determined. Jeniffer's family, while cautious, began to see Rob not only as her partner, but as the father of her child. Slowly, the doubts that once hung over their relationship began to fade, replaced by the reality of the life they were creating. Their private secret date had turned into the beginning of a new chapter. Jeniffer, glowing with anticipation, prepared for motherhood. Rob, working harder than ever, prepared to support his growing family. The noise of critics, Fans and reality television seemed smaller compared to the weight of what truly mattered. And now, with the baby on the way, Rob and Jennifer's love story moves forward. Their wedding, set for February 10th, 2026, will mark the official start of their new life together. It is not the end of their struggles. Distance, finances, and the challenges of parenthood will still be there, but it is the beginning of a more powerful bond, one forged in love, sacrifice, and resilience. What began as a controversial relationship on television has grown into something deeper, something private, and something real. A secret night turned into new life. Two people who were once doubted by many are preparing to prove everyone wrong. Not through words, but through the life they are building together. Rob and Jennifer's story is not only about reality TV drama. It is about choosing each other again and again, no matter how hard it is. It is about carving out small sanctuaries of love in a world that often tries to pull them apart. It is about creating a family against the odds. And as February 10th, 2026 approaches, the world will finally see them not as reality TV characters, but as two people who fought for love, held on through distance, and found joy in the promise of a future together. Now seen through the lens of parenthood, Jennifer faced the early stages of her pregnancy with quiet strength. Rob was not physically there, but their conversations became more frequent and more focused on their future as a family. They talked about baby names, where they might live, and how they could raise a child across continents. It was a time of planning and emotional adjustment when their commitment to each other and their unborn child was truly tested. They chose to keep the pregnancy private for a while. They wanted to share the news first with close family and friends, giving themselves time to process without the pressure of public attention. This quiet period showed their wish to protect their family and care for their relationship in private. As the pregnancy moved forward, the reality of becoming parents grew stronger. Doctor's appointments and ultrasounds became milestones, but many were experienced across borders with the help of technology. Rob tried to be present virtually whenever possible. He shared in the joy of seeing their baby grow and gave Jennifer steady emotional support. For Jennifer, pregnancy brought many emotions. The physical changes, the anticipation of motherhood, and the longing for Rob's presence made the experience both beautiful and challenging. She stayed strong, focusing on the health of her baby. She leaned on her family in Colombia and kept constant contact with Rob. Rob, on his side, faced the struggle of becoming a father from afar. He wanted deeply to be there for Jennifer, but he focused on what he could control. He worked toward financial stability, looked into options for Jennifer's eventual move to the United States, and prepared himself emotionally for fatherhood. This unseen time tested their relationship, forcing them to communicate better, plan for their shared future, and depend on each other in new ways. The expectation of their baby's arrival became a bond that brought them closer. As the due date drew near, their conversations centered on final preparations and the possibility of Rob being at the birth. The last weeks of pregnancy are emotional for any mother, and for Jennifer, the distance made it harder. The physical discomfort and natural anxieties of childbirth were amplified by Rob's absence. Still, their connection gave her strength. People close to them said Rob tried everything to be there for the birth. International travel, limited money, and possible delays were challenges, but his determination pushed him to explore every option. Whether or not he made it into the delivery room remains a private detail, but the effort showed his devotion. The birth itself marked a turning point. For Jennifer, it was the reward for months of carrying and nurturing her child. For Rob, it was the start of a lifelong dream and his first steps into fatherhood. Though the details of labor remain private, one can imagine the emotions. The pain of childbirth, followed by the joy of holding her baby for the first time, created an unforgettable moment. Whether Rob was there physically or virtually, the arrival of their baby was filled with wonder. The newborn's first cry echoed across continents, proving that love had bridged distance and hardship. In the days that followed, Jennifer shared precious moments with her baby, feeding, holding, and bonding. For Rob, even if not there in person, the first photos and video calls became the beginning of his journey as a father. Though miles apart, his love and commitment built a real connection. The birth was more than the growth of their family. It was the start of a new chapter in Rob and Jennifer's life. Their baby was proof of their ability to overcome distance and difficulties. Jennifer stepped into motherhood with care and strength, while Rob embraced fatherhood with pride. Sleepless nights, endless diapers, and the joy of watching their child grow became experiences that would tie them together in new ways. Parenthood across continents would not be easy, but their foundation of love and trust gave them strength. The baby's arrival was not the end of one story, but the beginning of another, filled with shared moments, unconditional love, and the chaos of family life. Rob Warne and Jeniffer Tarzona are officially setting the date to celebrate their love and commitment with a wedding ceremony on upcoming February 10th, 2026. This confirmation comes from sources close to the couple who have shared their excitement about this upcoming milestone in Rob and Jennifer's journey. While the details of the wedding, the location, the guest list, the style of the ceremony are still being kept relatively private, the announcement of the date signifies a significant step forward for this beloved 90-day fiancé couple. The decision to officially tie the knot comes as a natural progression in their relationship, especially with the arrival of their child. While their initial engagement was documented on the show, the journey to the altar has been anything but straightforward. The challenges of their long-distance relationship, the financial hurdles they faced, and the doubts cast upon their connection by viewers and those around them created an atmosphere of uncertainty. However, the news of their impending wedding on February 10th, 2026 serves as a powerful affirmation of their enduring love and their commitment to building a future together as a legally recognized family. Choosing a wedding date is a deeply personal decision for any couple. February 10th, 2026 holds a special significance for Rob and Jennifer. Perhaps it's an anniversary of a meaningful moment in their relationship, a date with personal numerological significance, or simply a time of year that holds a special appeal for them. Regardless of the specific reason, setting this date marks a concrete step towards solidifying their union and celebrating their love in front of their closest family and friends. The wedding will undoubtedly be a momentous occasion, a culmination of their long and often arduous journey. It will be a chance for them to celebrate not only their love for each other, but also the beautiful family they have begun to create with the arrival of their new baby. We can imagine the joy and emotion that will fill the air as they exchange vows and officially begin their married life. The details surrounding the wedding preparations will likely unfold in the coming months. Will the ceremony take place in the United States, allowing Rob's family and friends to attend more easily? Or will they opt for a celebration in Colombia, embracing Jennifer's culture and allowing her loved ones to be at the forefront? Perhaps they will even consider a destination wedding, a symbolic merging of their two worlds. These are questions that will undoubtedly be on the minds of 90-Day Fiancé viewers, regardless of the location and the specifics of the ceremony. The wedding of Rob Warne and Jeniffer Tarzona on February 10th, 2026, will be a testament to the power of love to overcome obstacles and to create a lasting bond. It will be a celebration of their unique journey, a moment to look back on the challenges they have faced and to look forward to a future filled with love, laughter, and the joys of raising their child together. This upcoming wedding signifies a new chapter for Rob and Jennifer, a move towards greater stability and a deeper commitment to their shared life. It is a public declaration of the love that has persevered despite the scrutiny and the challenges of their unconventional romance. As they prepare to say, "I do" in front of their loved ones, they are not just celebrating their past, they are embracing their future as a married couple and as parents. And there you have it, 90-Day Fiancé enthusiasts. The secret chapter of Rob and Jennifer's story revealed from a clandestine secret room date that sparked an unexpected blessing to the joyous arrival of their new baby, and now the confirmed date for their wedding celebration on February 10th, 2026. Their journey has been a roller coaster of emotions filled with ups and downs, doubts and triumphs. But through it all, their underlying connection has seemingly grown stronger culminating in the beautiful family they are now building. Rob and Jennifer's story serves as a powerful reminder that love can indeed transcend borders and overcome significant obstacles. While their path has been unconventional and often fraught with challenges, their commitment to each other and now to their child is undeniable. The arrival of their baby marks a new and incredibly significant chapter in their lives, and their upcoming wedding is a testament to their enduring love and their desire to build a lasting future together. As they navigate the joys and challenges of parenthood and prepare for their wedding day, we can't help but feel a sense of hope and optimism for their future. They have defied the odds in many ways, and their story with its unexpected twists and turns continues to captivate and surprise us. What are your thoughts on this incredible journey? Were you surprised by the news of Jennifer's pregnancy? Are you excited to see them finally tie the knot? Share your opinions and well wishes for Rob, Jennifer, and their growing family in the comments below. More update. 90 Day Fiancé. Sophie Sierra is the real victim in her relationship with Rob Warne's shocking relationship update with Sophie Sierra amid hunt for love debut, and Sophie Sierra and Rob Warne's unexpected reunion raises serious questions, and Sophie Sierra reveals chilling new details of alleged assault. I will explain everything. 90 Day Fiancé. Sophie Sierra is the real victim in her relationship with Rob Warne. Rob Warne, Sophie Sierra's ex-husband, is the real antagonist. According to Sophie Sierra from 90 Day, The Last Resort, the relationship was first revealed by Sophie in season 10 of 90 Day Fiancé. She arrived in the U.S. on a K-1 visa in order to wed Rob. Rob and Sophie appeared to be a good fit at the time. Both of them were young people of mixed races who had previously faced comparable difficulties. Rob and Sophie appeared to be incredibly in love with one another and had similar interests and aspirations. As Sophie got to know Rob more, she became aware of his warning signs. During their long-distance relationship, she found her spouse was not the guy he seemed to be and had a short fuse. Additionally, she discovered that Rob had previously cheated on her even after getting married to Rob and gaining U.S. residency. Sophie found it difficult to maintain a happy marriage. In order to deal with their problems, the pair joined season 2 of 90 Day, The Last Resort in 2024. She came to the conclusion Rob wasn't the appropriate man for her after the uncomfortable encounter. Rob and Sophie's on-screen behavior has drawn condemnation on social media. Things changed though when Rob accused his co-star Jasmine Pineda of cheating on her spouse Gino Palazzolo and getting pregnant by someone else after the tell-all episodes aired. Recently, Sophie criticized people who prefer Rob to her on her Instagram story. People are still supporting an abusive man. He hides it on T since she is the real victim. Sophie implied that Rob is the real bad guy and urged people to stand behind her. In her reply, Sophie called attention to Rob's malevolent behavior. She said he also called an unborn baby names and called a pregnant woman. Plus, there's even proof online of him throwing things at me. Sophie argued that Rob wasn't as nice as he appeared to be on TV, with the statement, "Yet people still want to act like Rob was just the nicest guy ever, and I'm just immature because I left." She denounced the viewers who supported her ex-husband. Sophie summed up her remarks by saying she was angry at opponents for disseminating false information about her experiences. In her Instagram story, Sophie boldly claimed that Rob had been aggressive. She said, "There's even proof online of him throwing things at me." Sophie gave followers of 90 Day Fiancé a reminder of her previous posts, which included footage of Rob behaving violently and unpredictably. When he dumped her possessions in the trash, she attempted to remind fans of it. Rob was also accused by Sophie of abusing her, causing her to have stitches placed over her eye. She went on to say that she left him due to his abusive behavior. Sophie gave a few specifics regarding Rod's chalk fuse. She'd admitted that she had refrained from discussing his abuse on TV because she didn't want to do it in front of others. As she put it, "People have zero idea what I actually went through." The British woman was frustrated. In her conclusion, Sophie acknowledged that because people only believe what they see on television, they might never recognize Rod's abuse of her. Sophie stated that at the end of the day, it's a show for the purpose of entertainment. You do not see what happens behind closed doors. Sophie revealed her future plans to her fans as she wrapped up her long Instagram story. She said, "My life without him is very peaceful, even though she had experienced trauma from being with him." Sophie continued by saying, "My life does not revolve around a television show, so I don't care to speak on it anymore." She acknowledged that she was aware of the difficulty she had in her relationship with Rob, saying, "That man hates women." As you guys can see, he didn't argue with a man who literally tried to get at his wife because he only attacks women. Sophie concluded her post by telling her fans that she no longer wished to participate in disparaging discussions. She claimed that she had put a lot of effort into becoming a better version of herself and didn't want to risk it for the show. Sophie stated, "I know what I went through and have worked so hard at healing from it, so that's good enough for me." The two primary things Sophie seems to be focusing on after her failed marriage to Rob are being content and being single, which she acknowledged. Sophie has declared her desire to live a tranquil life and is working tirelessly to move past her failed relationship. Sophie shared an update in April saying she's still getting over the breakup. The 90-Day Fiancé star reposted a remark that said, "I healed on law of attraction life. I discovered I matured. Boundaries are something I establish. I cease to settle." Although Sophie is doing the right thing by allowing herself time to recover, Rob, her ex-partner, has already moved on and seems to be seeing a cast member from a previous season. Former cast members are trying to find love again in 90-Day Hunt for Love, the franchise's newest spin-off, which was just revealed. Similar to Bachelor in Paradise and Love Island, the spin-off appears to be considerably more chaotic and controversial. Rob is one of the show's cast members who frequently gets caught up in romantic relationships. Sophie is choosing to live a quiet life rather than pursuing attention or attempting to extend her brief celebrity. The 90-Day The Last Resort actress desires a more straightforward life, so she may concentrate on her new venture.